Greetings, fellow Americans and peoples and nations of the planet. My name is Lynne Osmulski Barragan. I am 42 years old and I am a super proud mother of 3 living and 1 deceased sons. Um, Today is Tuesday, May 21st, 2019. And I would like to express my bid for the 2020 executive branch of office presidential election. However, I will not be running as president. In my opinion, America no longer needs a CEO or a CFO or a COO. We are not commodities, and this is not a corporation. I would like to have a title with some integrity and honor, such as High Counselor or High Chancellor or Leader or something honorable. My father is a naval Vietnam veteran who proudly served this country aboard the USS Salisbury Sound. He was injured while stationed in Hawaii and was therefore honorably discharged and received Annapolis training and also certification as a master electrician. And when he was honorably discharged from the Navy, he couldn't make enough money as a naval trained electrician and therefore became a letter carrier with the United States Postal Service, and just a few years ago retired from over 30 years of service to this country. My grandmother is a survivor of Nazi Germany. She married my Polish-American grandfather, who was also a military serviceman, serving in Germany, and fled Nazi Germany in 1938. Then came to America, had my father and me. And she is no longer with us. She is deceased as well. I would like to state that I have great visions for the future of this beautiful, free country of liberty. We are sovereign, singular beings in a plural country, sovereign states, sovereign nations, united together as one collective. We all enjoy, whether on a personal or state level, our particular rights and freedoms. I stand for what is right, what is true, what is good, and what is just. I do believe highly in morals and ethics and of upstanding character and integrity, honor, honesty, and faith. A lot of things in this world have been twisted, manipulated, perverted, corrupted. Many have been deceived. And I fight for social security on every level, personal, lowest on the totem pole to the top of the pops. And I'm a proud member of Generation X, the 70s born generation of pioneers, rebels, truth speakers, truth seekers, and way showers. We stand up for what's right, and we stand up for the oppressed, the poor, the suffering, the addicted, the abused, the tortured, the controlled, the manipulated, the deceived, the enslaved. And I aim to put a stop to these things. I would love to restore hope within communities, and hope within this country, and hope in the entire world. We can save this planet together, one single person uniting with the next. We can do amazing things as a large, grand collective. Um, I believe in family unity. I believe in women's rights. I believe in rights of people of color. I believe in wholeheartedly ending murder, rape, torture, trafficking, drug infiltration, gangs, mobs, dirty bureaucrats and politicians and clergy and royalty. Um, I hope that with your support, we can start at the lowest levels in our communities and change things on a grand scale. And instead of America being the laughing stock of the entire world, rightly so, we can do something together to change the course of things and make America a place of envy, where the land of the free, the home of the brave. Well, it doesn't seem so much that way anymore, now does it? And the people that have sacrificed everything and have gone before, whether a personal relation or a person in history whom you've read about that has been silenced for speaking the truth and standing up for what is right, this is going to stop. Censorship is going to stop. We have a right to freedom of information, of speech, of family, of purity, of good, right, true, just, holy things that this country is lacking on a global scale. There are many current events going on in the world, and the public is hardly privy to any of it. If you are not searching through back doors and doing your research completely and thoroughly, you're not getting the whole story. Mainstream media, mainstream entertainment platforms, news journalists, your local church, your city, town, borough, county governments and officials and branches of government and institutions of service and protection are not serving and protecting. I am a suicide survivor. I am a depression survivor. I am an addiction survivor. I am an alcoholic survivor. I have been on the receiving end for 42 years of being misunderstood, misled, misguided, deceived, used, abused, discarded, misled, misdirected, and have had my life stolen away from me in more ways than one. And I will not allow that to happen to my sons. Their future is very bright, and they are gifted, as am I. And our gifts come from God, not of man of this world, and we have a right to use them. And the solutions and calculations and research and statistics and history that I study, I can find solutions on a global scale, a planetary scale, even a universal scale, very rapidly, very efficiently. And I guess having a military family and being raised in the Catholic Church will teach you a little something or two. And they also will teach you a lot about truth and deception on the Libra scales. I prefer balance on all fronts, equal balance, equality, fair, right, even, full disclosure, full exposure. I'm an open book. I implore others to read my story and then perceive your own ending based on the story you read. You never judge a book by its cover. Any good author or reader will tell you that. And I am both. I would be happy to speak to anyone. My Facebook, YouTube, Google profiles are all public. I'm not a fan of social media. I mainly go on Facebook and other entities to touch base with my soul family around the world, as well as my children and my estranged, extended, blood-related family. I also research and study archaeology, philosophy, and naturopathic and holistic medicine. And I learned from the greats who have gone before, who wrote the books on the subjects, not ever taught by the ones teaching them. So in 1988, at the age of 12, after years of horrendous testing, it was discovered by the psychotherapy unit at the hospital group I was working with that my IQ was at a level of 144, which put me in the genius category. And for lack of a better explanation, at 12 years old, after years of intensive testing, scrutiny, experimentation, and then performance and being graded and tested on your performance, I wanted to be a child. I wanted to be outside playing with my friends, and I spent my life doing puzzles and in doctor's offices and taking massive tests and studying stacks of booklets of spelling words for spelling bees. And it's time to have fun anymore. I'm on the other end, the evening out. I've climbed the mountain in 42 years, and I'd like to, right some wrongs, basically, and do some good things. I am a friend in the community. I have a lot of community support, and I'm a volunteer. I'm an advocate. I'm a mentor. I'm a teacher. And I hope to get to know everyone. I am thinking of possibly using my YouTube channel and doing sort of a Truman Show style venue where the public will have full access to my life. I have nothing to hide. Good, bad, ugly, and brutal. What you see is what you get with me. And that's the thing that I don't agree with anymore. The last few elections, it's basically, for me, in my opinion anyways, been the lesser of two evils. Choice A, choice B, red or blue, Dem or Republic, and for lack of an actual excellent choice, you're basically made to choose between the two. And I don't think that's really fair. If you are not able to back up what you speak with personal experience or in your character of walking that walk that you talk, can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, is what I say. Worked in a few of them in my time. Anyways, so I would love to speak to anyone, impart my standards of what I believe, things that are right and good, and things that can be changed, and then solutions for certain things like the housing issue and all these dilapidated properties, and using sustainable natural resources to refurbish them and restructure them and take the toxic eyesores off of our streets and get the homeless people off of the streets. The richest country in the world? Well, welcome to my life. I'm staying in a rooming house currently. I'm working with St. Vincent de Paul through the Catholic Church to overcome homelessness, and also a court case dealing with some custody and abuse issues. And I would like moment by moment, play by play, day in the life, walk with me type of camera right here, and you're going to see my daily struggles with each and every agency and entity that is failing the community where I live. and my children as well, being in an unsafe environment. So I met someone today who has a platform and a voice in the community where I will be able to do a type of internship and maybe a call-in Q&A live show, um, to be able to give family advice or tips and tricks of budgeting or how to solve problems, heal, illnesses at home when it comes to your children, and natural remedies and things as a parent that worked for me. Education, since it failed me, I'm a firm believer in parents homeschooling their children, or allowing them access to sort of an Ad Ansara type of environment where it's outdoors and you're visiting museums and planetariums and observatories and plays and things like that, instead of being in a classroom in a building and taking PSSA tests and stress and anxiety and fluorescent lights and screens everywhere. And this planet has become very disconnected. When the World Wide Web came onto the scene in the 80s, and every household then got a new PC, we just all separated. And I want my family back. I don't know about you, and I don't like it like this all the time, or I want a hug and a kiss and an I love you, and I want to lay eyes on my children. And my dad's 72 in Florida, and he's not well. I mean, he does his best. But I'd like to spend some time with my family and continue my education. To me, a true teacher always remains a student. There's always more to learn, and it's never, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. There's always something else you can gain knowledge of. Whether it's correct information or misinformation, you're still having another option in the mix to weigh. And being a physicist, a quantum physicist on all levels, theoretical, mechanical, nuclear, atomic, planetary, you name it, I believe in finding cures and solutions at the root core, the nuclear level, and preventing problems before they multiply and metastasize and grow into these big, convoluted, complicated issues. Just nip it in the bud in the first place. Anyways, so I'm a little bit of a sarcastic jokester. I do curse sometimes, pardon my language. I try to be mindful when I'm speaking near children. But with my intellect, I am sure that, as has happened most in my life, things that I speak about, sometimes I can sound a bit like a physician or a counselor or a scientist or, a biologist or things like that, and it just goes right over. So I apologize if I go too fast or if I'm speaking in these terms that are astronomical, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious type, And for me back in school, they were like, spell it and define it and use it in a sentence. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyways, so I believe in laughter. I believe in music. I believe in speaking the truth and doing what's right, even if you stand alone. And Martin Luther King even said that. So I wish everyone a great day. I hope that my message came across all right. Doing these videos and being under the spotlight for me is traumatic from my childhood experiences, plural. So every time I get in front of the camera, it helps me gain my confidence and gain my courage to be able to speak clearly and have it be understood and reciprocated, hopefully. So I look forward to speaking to you, hearing from you, giving you a view into my life and see what I'm about. And I wish everyone the best. And the main theme for me is peace, truth, love, hope, and faith. Much love.